You were innocent of murder, and yet you were given a life without the possibility of parole sentence. How did you cope with that brutal injustice?
I coped through education and prayer.
How many years were you locked up in prison for a murder you did not commit?
27 and a half years.
How did you not lose hope and faith that one day you would be free?
A good lawyer.
This is the story of winning the impossible case. Shannon Secrease was supposed to die in prison while serving a life with no possibility of parole sentence in California for murder. Because, however, we won the impossible, Shannon Secrease is now free. On September 15th, 1996, while a juvenile, Shannon was involved in a murder robbery. 2 years later, after a trial riddled with flaws, he was convicted of first-degree murder with special circumstances and was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. When Shannon contacted my law office in June 2020, I knew three things. First, he was innocent of the crime of murder. Second, he was over-sentenced to an appalling degree. And third, his previous lawyer had failed him miserably. For his crime, I knew that Shannon was not the gunman, nor did he know a murder, allegedly done by his older crime partner, was going to happen. While pursuing a resentencing for Shannon due to changes in the law of felony murder in California, I saw the ability for Shannon to retroactively argue that his case should have been heard in juvenile court, and I immediately filed a motion. The motion was granted and was unopposed by the district attorney, which created an opening for fixing the injustice done to Shannon. The case was then referred and redirected to juvenile court, with the juvenile judge later agreeing that Shannon should have been in juvenile court from the start. As this was happening, Shannon's case for murder, being that he should not have been charged and sentenced with murder in the first place, was before the Court of Appeals. And in a published decision, we won the right to argue that murder didn't apply. While underway, because of my advice, Shannon was doing self-help programming. And I told Shannon that if he ever went before a parole board, I would represent him for free. Because of the exceptional work of another lawyer on the team, Shannon's case stayed in juvenile court, which made him eligible for release. We had indeed won the impossible. 27 and a half years in prison and decades of fighting for his rights. Today, Shannon Secrease is home in the loving embrace of his family and friends, living life to the fullest. This is why I became a lawyer. For people like Shannon, we gave him his life back, and yes, we won the impossible. Shannon is now a free man.